What's poppin', my party people? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic out there today. Guys, it is once again time for another episode of Brawl News, your favorite spot to get all the comings and goings here inside the Brawl Stars community that you might not know about, but might want to know about. Let's go. Today's episode is going to be a tiny bit different than what we're normally used to. We have an incredibly important analysis to go over on the Dyna jump star power. Double and triple jumps might be impacted quite a lot with the most recent list of balance changes, Dynamike getting a speed increase from them. I'm going to be going over all my thoughts on the star power and how it's going to be impacted moving forward. I already have a pretty dang good idea of what it's going to be like. On top of that, we have a really awesome animation that was just released today to hype up the release of Squeak. If you guys didn't realize, he's coming out tomorrow. Hype, as well as some other really important things to discuss, such as some interesting images that were released a few days ago and other things. So hope you're all excited. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go. So of course, before we get into anything, if you guys enjoy these Brawl News episodes or find them useful, be sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I try to do my best to stay on top of things here in the community. As you can see, we're sitting at 62.4% not subscribed, as well as 37.6% subscribed. 62.4%, guys, what the heck? But with all of my YouTuber things out of the way, it's time to get a little bit serious because we do have some very important things to discuss in today's video. But starting things off over here on the official Brawl Stars Twitter page, as you guys can see, Brawl Stars tweeted out an amazing animation that can be found on all social medias as well as their main YouTube channel. Squeak is coming out in 15 short hours, so dang hype. When you're watching this animation, it really puts it into perspective how bizarre Squeak is as a brawler here in the game. He's coming to life in-game as a dog drool extract from Colonel Ruff's. I mean, does Colonel Ruff have like amazing saliva or something like that? Can he create brawlers from his saliva? If so, man, this guy's a powerful dog, I'm telling you that much. But we all know enough about Squeak at this point to understand what he's going to be like once he's released here into the meta. He's going to be an amazing brawler. We really know a lot of his mechanics with his star powers, gadgets, basic attack damage. We have a good grasp on him. I've heard across the community a lot of people thinking he's going to be incredibly overpowered. Typically, when a new brawler is released, they tend to be on the better side of things compared to most of the other brawlers in the meta, so I think we are going to be looking at that with Squeak when he is released. Of course, be sure you guys are staying tuned to the channel tomorrow. Gem Array is going to be running rampants, that's for dang sure. We're going to be picking this bad boy up and maxing him out so you guys can see what he's like in the meta on the very first day if you can't do that yourself. Best of luck if you guys are hoping to get Squeak on the very first day. Hopefully your preparations went well when we made that video to try to remind you to do your best to get all prepared for him. So hope you guys get lucky. My fingers are crossed for you. But with the Squeak news out of the way, as hype as it is now time to switch gears into the recent list of balance changes. I'm sure you guys have already seen the list for yourselves on the balance changes, so I don't want to go too crazy deep into it, but I do want to give my 2 cents on this change to Dynamike. Has it ruined double and triple jumps? As you guys can see, the specific change itself is speed movement increased by 6.5%. It is now the same as El Primo's. Now, at face value, of course, this is a phenomenal buff to Dynamike. It's going to help him out immensely. I've said this time and time again in the Brawl Stars community that speed and mobility in Brawl Stars is one of the most important things behind maybe DPS. If you give a brawler a little bit of movement speed, it's going to help them out a ton. And in the case of Dynamike being a lobber and having distance being a really important factor to the damage that he deals, it's definitely going to help him. I'm sure we all know this by now, but your boy is going for a rank 35 push here on Dynamike, so I definitely have a good reign on this brawler, especially right now. So I definitely understand some of his shortcomings, and one of the bigger ones being it's very hard to close the gaps on some brawlers. You basically have to wait for someone kind of slipping in order to deal a good amount of damage. With this increased movement speed, you can close the gap on most brawlers in the game much easier, being able to land your gadget much easier, and applying the damage. But even if it is a really good overall change to Dynamike, is it going to impact his Dyna jump, double and triple jumps? The Dyna jump star power is a very, very finicky star power that I feel like was designed without the intention of making it one of the highest skill cap, if not the highest skill cap star power in the entire game. But because it is finicky, the slightest change to Dynamike, being a balance or a nerf, can affect his ability to double jump entirely. It's just milliseconds in timing. So with that being known, your boy is going to hop into Training Cave and get a feel for if this is going to actually impact Dynamike's first star power, or if it might even make it better. You guys, I had my worries, but it feels almost as if the Dyna jump star power got a buff. I'm telling you that much. My goodness, I love the change. I love the change. Don't get me wrong, I feel like some of the things that we've been practicing with Dynamike might need a little bit of tweaking in order to utilize the first star power to its best potential, but there's a few things that I feel like you can do now that you couldn't do before, such as being a little bit more scrappy with your first stick that you're throwing down, where a lot of the time with Dynamike, you can throw down a stick and then you meet the stick. So you throw it down and then you run to it. Having more movement speed, you can utilize that mechanic a little bit better, tricking out your opponents, meeting the stick, and then throwing out another stick. I don't know, it feels very, very nice. Guys, we might be looking at the golden age for Dynamike here moving forward in the meta, which is bringing me so much joy. I feel like Dynamike has been neglected for quite some time, so you might be seeing Dynamike as an S tier brawler, you never know. But with that out of the way, transitioning into the next bit of very important news here. As you guys can see on your screen, 2 days ago, Brawl Stars tweeted out a very interesting image of bots being destroyed. The caption is, "If the machines take over the world, we'll be safe around Belle." Can you guess what Belle was inspired by? So of course, I feel like the definite inspiration is Terminator. The bots resemble the robots from that movie immensely, and Belle could most definitely be the main character's mother. I forget her name, but I think that might be the inspiration for Belle. But normally with any image such as this, there is an ulterior motive in my eyes. It could just be a cool image that they decided to put out there to hype up Belle, but Belle has been released for quite some time, so it's cool to try to take a deep dive into this photo. So several people, when this image first came out, directed their attention to that Poco hat laying down in the background. If you guys take a look at the image, there's not a whole lot of brawler references here. Of course, we have Belle, we have Spike there in the background, which we will discuss a little bit later on, but the only other one is Poco down here, and then a robot head laying right next to it. A lot of people were speculating that maybe Poco might be a robot in disguise. You never know. It's definitely very, very interesting. But then if we take a closer look here at the image, we have Spike there in the background. I feel like Spike is always found in the background of photos. He's kind of that weird character that's always in the mystery, shroud of mystery here in the Brawl Stars community. But as you can see, Spike is looking quite swaggy there. A definite good meme template that Brawl Stars put in there willingly, that's for dang sure. But he's taking a look at a reflection in oil or maybe just water there in the background, but people pointed out that it doesn't look like Spike is wearing sunglasses in the reflection. Now of course this could be due to Spike being small in the background and not a huge subject of the main overall image, so they kind of didn't go into crazy detail in drawing the reflection with sunglasses and stuff like that, or it could be something else, a little bit of mystery around Spike, more mystery than he already has. What this means, I'm not quite sure. Make sure to leave your speculations in the comments down below. And then the final thing that I want to discuss in today's video is going a little bit further into this photo that we broke down in the most recent episode of Brawl News, and that is specifically the bandana in the background. I just wrote it off as a Shelly bandana, which is what I believe it still is, but a lot of people are thinking that it might be a Kit bandana, Kit also sharing the same exact bandana that Shelly has here in the game. So some people thinking that that is a direct call out to maybe a third member here in this Star Force family, accompanying Colonel Ruffs as well as Squeak, but I don't think it's going that deep into it. Most of the references that we've had for Kit, since we have discovered that Kit was kind of like a meme brought on by Danny and Ryan trying to implement Kit into the game, I don't think they would be this discreet about a Kit reference in the background. Most of the time they just blow it up like, Kit's there, man. We're talking about Kit. I mean, for goodness sakes, a good example of Kit's references not being discreet whatsoever. We have an actual photo of Kit, an unreleased brawler here on Squeak's belt. I mean, That's pretty blatant, right? So hey, that's just speculation. I might be completely wrong about that, but I would just assume that that is a Shelly bandana in that photo. But yeah, everyone, I think that's just about it for this episode of Brawl News. Hope you guys are all excited for the interesting things coming around the corner. Have fun with the balance changes that came out today, as well as get hyped for Squeak coming out tomorrow. It should be an absolute blast. But yeah, everyone, if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios, you guys.